What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Living life, being busy. You know how it is.
Yeah. It's 2021, and
Finally.
it doesn't feel any different than
No,
2020.
It doesn't. I'm just as stressed and as much of a wreck as I was 4 days ago at this point.
Yeah.
Though I did
but,
watch some Cobra Kai, which is good.
I've got 3 episodes in. We finished up Sabrina, which Christine was pretty disappointed in. I got mixed feelings on it.
I couldn't get into. I got like 5 episodes into season 1.
Yeah,
I was just bored. Like I like the feel of it, but it just is like going so slow. And
yeah, sometimes it does.
yeah, so I was just like, this isn't for me. I like the style of it. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome everybody to LRMornings, the first show of 2021. I am your host Kyle, and I'm joined today by
Joseph Jammer Medina, or Jammer, as I'm most commonly known as.
Jammer. You once told me that story, and I forgot it. But where you got Jammer from?
Oh, I mean, it was just because my initials spelled Jam. Because my actual middle name is Antonio. So
did you pick that nickname yourself, or someone else?
No, that was like apparently the doctor who delivered me came up with it. So literally, it was a day one nickname. I didn't know until I was 5 that my name wasn't Jammer.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. 2020. There was a lot of entertainment that got pushed off to the side. There's some stuff that did get released. Everybody's talked about Wonder Woman and all that. But I really just it's this year. There's that famous Malone sigh, right? Hey.
Yeah.
It's this year. I don't think you can get away with pushing off anything else, man. I really don't.
I mean,
I think this year everything comes out one way or another.
No.
What's that?
I disagree. I think you can get away with it easily. Like, it is what it is. Like, because it's like, shit goes sideways again, which it could. Then yeah. I agree they should release it, but like I think it's possible that they push stuff back again. I think they are going to do that again. I think they're going to release a good batch of stuff this year, and then they're going to push stuff because they realize, oh my god, this is a crowded year because all the stuff from last year is here as well. So I think it's going to happen.
Like, what studios? Just like in general, Hollywood in general.
Hollywood in general. Disney might have to do some real shuffling because they have a lot of backlog. They've released 2 Pixar movies. 1 terrible live action movie.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to their when it comes to their Disney's Marvel stuff, that's the only really like time sensitive one, unless they're looking at sequels, because then you don't want too much time between sequels, which is going to be hilarious.
Which is funny we say that
Avatar
now.
does.
We say that. No, it's funny we say that now because that just goes to show how spoiled we are. It's like, oh, it's been a year since we've had a Marvel movie. We can't have too long between sequels. And it's just like, yeah, you can. We used to have it all the time. We used to have like 4 to 8 years between sequels standard. And nowadays it's like, oh,
you mean that? Yeah. No, because we got to the point to where it was a new sequel every 2 or 3 years with Marvel, and now we're spoiled. And like every other spoiled children across the internet, we get to bitch and complain.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. It's like you can. The thing is, yeah, we don't want to, but you can. That's the thing. You can't have space in between sequels because the world is bigger than the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and things are very effective, are very affected by everything that's going on in the world.
Where does money come at for these studios to hold on?
That is the question. That is definitely the question. Because yeah, here's the I know that what was it, AMC, the second that HBO or Warner Brothers said they were going to release all of their slate in HBO Max, which they've kind of backpedaled on slightly. I think Dune is now going to be theatrical, and
I did not hear that.
It had to do with the fact that Legendary funded like 75% of the movie, but Warner Brothers has full distribution rights. So it's like, we have full distribution rights. We could do whatever we want. And then Legendary is like, I don't know, not so fast. We kind of paid for most of this movie. So it's like, that sort of thing that led to it. And I was very much in favor of them releasing everything on HBO Max because I was like, come on, just do it. But at the same time, I can understand people's annoyance, which is the reason why I actually sided with Nolan for once, because apparently they didn't inform any of the filmmakers. They didn't address any of the contracts they had for theatrical releases. And so it's like, oh, you guys didn't cross your T's and dot your I's on this. Like, you guys are just jumping into it, like, irresponsibly, which is not good.
But basically seems like they were like, we have to defeat Disney Plus no matter what, and some top brass at Warner Brothers or Warner Media may have made a decision ahead without.
Right, or they're saying like, hey, now's the perfect time because we can't release things in theaters, let's just do it. And they're like, hey, yeah, good job, let's do it. And they're like, hey, marketing guy, let's put out a press release tomorrow. And then didn't really do their due diligence, which is unfortunate. But my point is, actually, that wasn't my point. That was a tangent.
Okay.
The point that I was going into was, I don't know where the money, like what they're saving up. It's about, AMC. AMC was the one who came out and spoke out against them. They're like, oh, they're leaving money on the table. And I'm like, are they? Are they really? Like, I mean, Tenet didn't exactly set the world on fire. I know Wonder Woman was on HBO Max, but it also isn't setting the world on fire in terms of box office numbers. I'm sorry to say this, but right now, the way to make money is not through theatrical release. The way is to salvage your movies through streaming. Now, as to whether or not they make enough money there, who knows? It's like a question of, do we like hold on and basically just eat expenses for the next year? Can you physically do that? Or
not without major furlough, cutoff, or layoff type stuff.
Right. Or do we release now and then just make some money back and hope that it breaks even?
Well, the one thing, and this is something you and I have talked about before, because this year we talked, what if movie theaters don't open enough again? What does Spider-Man 3 do? Because they don't. Yeah, Sony has a deal to distribute a lot of movies on home video through Stars, but it's not like a regular streaming service. It's either an add-on package
Crackle?
to cable, or Crackle's almost all but dead. Basically,
I'm aware of that.
I don't even think you can use it anymore.
You
I
can
don't
use
know.
Crackle. Crackle's available.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. They could try theoretically to revitalize that. I don't know. The plus for things like DC, Marvel, Star Wars, one word begins with an M. George Lucas made it famous. Merchandise. Warner Brothers still gets to make some money off of Wonder Woman t-shirts, Wonder Woman toys, collectibles. Zack Snyder's Justice League will get the same thing. And so they are going to be able to make some money off of that.
Yes and no. Yes and no. And here's
why.
Because
not Sony. I know deals like Sony.
No. I mean, even yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes and no, because Warner Brothers Pictures does not make that money. They even if they release a great Wonder Woman movie and nobody sees it, or no one pays to see it, but they sell really great merchandise, technically the movie is still not a profitable endeavor. Yes, but the merchandising is over. Like, things are so separated that's like, it's still seen as a failure, even if the merchandise was a success. Like, on the books, it's, yes, for the parent company it's a success, but for them it's a failure.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I had talked to Brian about, and I think I've talked to you about it before. We just had that huge Investors Day meeting, and I remember minutes before, some of the guys at LRM were like, yeah, everybody's thinking there's going to be all these big announcements, and that's not what happens at these Investor Day things. It's not going to be anything. And then it was like, oh, we're making up for Celebration in San Diego Comic-Con. On the internet is basically what happened. They did their own fandom, but they did it faster and
Was it faster?
organized. They got the message out, and that was it. Fandom was over an entire weekend. It was like a 3-day weekend. Yeah,
I guess
it was like 3 days worth of cast.
That investors call felt like a million years long. I'm not gonna lie, it felt.
It
so
was.
long.
It was.
It was very dry too. It wasn't like super. It was like
some of it
polished.
was.
It was polished to the point where it was just like very corporate compared to what the fandom was.
Well, that's Disney for you. You and I've had conversations about the differences in prequel and OT behind the scenes stuff versus sequel trilogy behind the scenes stuff.
I don't know if that's Disney as much as it is just Lucasfilm now.
It might be because I know. Well, it might be modern Lucasfilm. Because
if you look at or maybe it's just like maybe it's not even intentional. Because I mean, if you look at this is really, you're not going to enjoy this, but like Disney Plus, there's this Frozen documentary for Frozen 2, Into the Unknown. They show, it's like several episodes. It's like a docu-series.
Like the gallery on
kind of like
Mandalorian.
That. Except it shows like all of like the drama behind the scenes, all the conflict and stuff. And it shows like
all the
uncertainty. Yeah, it shows all that stuff there, which surprised me. And I was like, oh, so it's like, yeah, it actually showed like sort of the nitty gritty type of stuff.
That's nice.
Which was really unexpected. So like, even though you don't like Frozen 2, which I don't actually like Frozen 2 that much, I thought Frozen 1 was great. I thought Frozen 2 was very, very, very disappointing. But that documentary was still interesting. As someone who likes documentaries where they kind of show all the facets of the process, I think you'll like it. So that's the only reason why I'm thinking maybe it's not a Disney thing. Maybe it's just whoever they hire to do their extra features for those things.
The only other thing I would point out is that we have heard, we can't, other than where her writers or directors have come out themselves and given their official side of things, all we can say is that we know of alleged drama in Marvel, and none of that ever that I've seen appears on any of the extras either. Not that you want all of that dirty laundry out and about, but there's something. There's something
it's so annoying when they go like, "Oh yeah, working with him is the greatest experience of my life." Oh yeah, they're just so great. We're just they're all just patting each other's backs, and it was just like, I get the idea where you want to make sure that you're keeping your connections, you're not burning bridges. I get that.
Yeah.
Which is why your content shouldn't necessarily consist completely of interviews, but should actually, have people documenting actual behind the scenes stuff in the process. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah. I've always said if I ever got to make a movie, I would do like Kevin Smith does, and my what do you call it? Not laugh track. Where everyone's messing up their lines and stuff. Yeah. I get so angry at the MCU because it's like you're fucking lying to me, saying you got 2 minutes of only two minutes of Chris Evans fucking up. Bullshit.
Okay,
you guys have two.
They're not saying this is all of the bloopers in the entire movie.
I want it all.
Why?
And that's what I'm getting at. Many. Is like on my extra, like my extras, if I ever got to make a movie, I would have like that Kevin Smith 15-20 minute blooper reel.
Was it? I don't remember them being that. Were they that long back then? I think.
Yeah, he's got a couple that push 15-20 minutes, especially Clerks 2 and there was another one that's got a really, really long one. I don't know. I just, me, I like information. You know who Simon Whistler is? Like today I found out, Geographics, Biographics, YouTuber guy. Like because I'm a terrible internet person. I had no idea who the fuck he was. I'd never heard of Today I found out. But I can watch his shit for hours, and it's nothing but documentary stuff,
Sure, yeah.
So I really dig that, and I wish more studios. Like, it's kind of like that balance because you don't want to air out too much dirty laundry.
Into the Unknown. Watch I'll
check it out.
An episode or two. I mean, you probably won't because it's animation and it's singing, and you don't care.
No, because I like the mechanics of it even.
Right. Yeah. So I think the Pixar and the Disney process of filmmaking is so interesting, though, just because the way they like how collaborative it is and how much it's like someone builds something up and then everyone else tears it down, and it's just kind of like, oh man, you gotta have to thick skin to kind of walk into that. It's really interesting.
You gotta have should have thick skin for everything. Anyways,
Well, different kind of thick
yeah.
skin.
Did you hear the alleged stuff from Richtman, Daniel Richtman last night?
I remember reading
Patreon?
it on the Slack. Explain what you're talking about.
There was a couple whole things. For those of you that don't know, Daniel Richtman, he's a scooper. He's got his misses. He's got companies he does better with than others and stuff like that. But most people take his stuff and say, okay, hey, we'll at least keep an eye on it. This one image claims that Lucasfilm has, quote, changed their minds while they still want a de-aged Mark Hamill for cameos. They decided with Hamill's approval to cast Sebastian Stan in the role of young Luke for longer role in future projects. Out of everything else that they talk about, like for example, Amber Heard is in talks with Disney. Elliot Page talks with Marvel. They want diversity. Disney wants Carano to apologize. I don't know. That one and that Mark Hamill one kind of throw me off. Keanu, cameo in The Flash as Constantine. Sandler, Adam type, getting a spy movie for Netflix, which makes sense. He's been doing a lot of stuff with Netflix recently.
Yeah.
There's Extraction spinoffs in the works, which I believe to be a possibility. It was pretty popular.
Yeah, I think it's popular.
Chris Evans in talks about a Star Trek movie. Now, I'll say this, Jammer, we got about 10 minutes left, man. So for those of you that don't know, Jammer's moved on to bigger and brighter things, and this is actually your last day as my official full-time co-host. So
it is.
What do you have to say about that, man? What do you think about that list? Is there anything you really want to harp on for 10 minutes?
Well, I'm not like I don't necessarily think you need to harp on something. I do think that if they are gonna go with Luke Skywalker more prevalently, they need to get an actual person to play him. It didn't bother me as much that he was CG for those moments that he was there. Like, yeah, you could tell he was CG, whatever. What bothered me was that, does this mean we're actually not going to get to see him? Because it just didn't seem like something that can hold up for a long-term TV show if he's going to be relatively involved. So I think going with Sebastian Stan for future projects, yeah, sure, I'll go with that. I actually was expecting as I saw the green lightsaber, I was like, did they get to Sebastian Stan? Like, how are they going to show him? Like, I was curious if they somehow kept that a secret in a way. I mean, they kept another secret with Hamill's voice and his likeness. And, I guess motion performance or however they did it. But yeah, I think Sebastian Stan would probably be good. His voice is very different, but what are you going to do? It can't be perfect.
What do you think? Because you and I and I hope to bring you back on for certain things dealing with animation.
To be clear, I'm not like leaving. Yeah, it's more of just a thing where my life is just so busy that I just can't make this a regular thing anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not me just going like, later, bitches, I'm gone.
Yeah, you'll definitely be on for things like Final Fantasy, and we're expecting some Final Fantasy news here fairly. If the people I follow online on Twitter are to be believed, we might be seeing some Final Fantasy 16 news here shortly.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just the Sebastian Stan thing about this image, we can't verify. I mean, we can verify that it did come from Richtman because we got somebody that is his Patreon, but there's no way that the Sebastian Stan thing just seems so on the nose. Like, yeah, fan casting. Like, how often does that happen?
All the people that are saying Anthony and Gruber should be Han Solo. You remember that?
Yeah.
I'm glad he wasn't. But nothing against him. It's just I think they went with a better person. Whether or not Han Solo himself was who he needed to be, which I don't think he was, is another question altogether. No. But as far as an actor, the guy He's a fine actor. Yeah, it's a bit on the nose. I agree, but at the same time, it's not like it's a random. It's a good fit because Sebastian Stan is a big Hollywood person, but he's not like an A-list star necessarily. Because so it's like he's just famous enough to make him be on the level. Like he's not Anthony Greer, he's not a complete unknown, but he's also not so famous that it's just like, oh, we're all gonna be distracted, which we might be, but a lot of people may not as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think it's understandable. I could see it happening.
Wonder if my wife will make me change my hair again.
I mean,
I'm doing the joke bet thing where I'm growing out my hair like the Winter Soldier for her. Anyways, it's long inside story. I would actually like to. What's that?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, out of all of these things here that he's got written down, there's one that somebody cut off, and I'm kind of upset about it. And it's The Rock wants to play Scorpion King in a new, and then we have nothing else. I'm guessing it's a reboot, is what I would guess, but it might be a like indirect or direct sequel. I don't know. Yeah. That's such a weird thing to bring back the Scorpion King. You know,
back full circle, man. Well, at the beginning of The Rock's career as an actor.
Yeah, he's nowhere near done yet, though.
Oh, yeah,
dude is just. I remember when Hulk Hogan went from wrestling and started making movies, but all of his movies were the corny 80s action stuff like Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando, and while those were great, The Rock, he's done his corny movies, he's done his time, but dude's got some chops. I like The Rock. I like him as a person. Evans in a Star Trek movie. I would actually like to see that. I like Evans. I'll see him in
What we need is another Chris in a Star Trek movie.
Another Chris.
Exactly.
Because you got the actual Chris Pike in the canon, and then you got Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, Chris Pike in the canon. Gotcha.
Yeah, in the canon, and then you got Chris Hemsworth that played Kirk's dad, which Kirk was played by Chris Pine in the Kelvin timeline movie.
Yep.
Yeah, why not bring Chris Evans into it? All the cross-pollination between all the studios makes me remember a conversation we had a while ago, and with this potential move to streaming that we've been talking about, you and I also mentioned, and we'll talk about in the future, whether or not we think more of those exclusive deals that actors and producers and stuff had back in the old days with studios, where it's like you only work for Fox Studios for the next 5 years or whatever.
God,
I wonder if we're gonna see more.
What makes you say that? That's happening.
I don't know. I think everything is. If we don't get movie theaters back in the way that we had before February of 2019. The studios have got to find ways to make money, save costs, and having certain things on tap might make it easier to cut corners.
I don't know if that's legal.
Instead of,
I don't know if that's legal.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know that even though everything is increasingly kind of studio based these days.
Yeah.
Actors are all over the place, so I don't see it being a thing. Like, obviously there are relationships that get developed, but like, you know, they're going all over the place. I don't see it being a thing. But I mean, that's a bold claim. I'd have to look into the legal stuff to see if that's like
like I said,
possible. But if it is possible, that's definitely one that most people aren't calling right now. That'd be interesting.
Like I said, I see studios looking for, like I said, what either ways to cut corners, and if you've already got sort of like a standing contract, if you will, with actors that, hey, you're on call, and maybe you work it where they get first turn down, like they don't have to take the role, but they're only making movies for your studio for the next 5 years or something like that. I don't know. I got this feeling that more than just the way movies are consumed is about to change. Everything from the ground up.
Yeah, I guess they got to find ways to make it happen, right? if they want to continue this high, expensive looking movies.
Well, not just that, but just to make money. Like even a $60 million movie, if are subscribers enough for you to make 3 or 4 of those a year? Maybe.
Well, we don't know.
You know,
that's the thing is we don't know for sure what's driving subscribers or how many subscribers are jumping on. I know that Disney Plus is making money hand over fist right now with Disney Plus. What was it? They hit their 4-year goal this past year.
I think so.
That's crazy.
That is the one thing I'm hoping we see more of is data from streaming, because Netflix being at some point they're going to have to.
They're not going to have to. Why?
No, because the stockholders need we might not always get the best information coming through trades, but if regular movie studio operations don't return, investors are going to want to know more. And I think that's when you're going to see, okay, yes, we we'll start getting not like a dam breaking and all at once, but we'll start getting some of the YouTube analytics and podcast analytics that you and I look at. I do.
No.
I think we're going to get views, unique views.
No way. No way.
Because how else are investors supposed to know whether or not their money is being utilized right?
I mean, Netflix still doesn't release their numbers. They've been around doing their thing for over a decade. It's not going to change.
Because nobody else has forced them to. They haven't had to. But now there's everyone else in the game.
No one's going to voluntarily give up more information. We'll information is power. You're not going to let everyone know where you stand. You'd be
right.
Transparent.
And you need investors.
No one's having trouble getting investors right now. They're like stockholders totally fine. Like, do what Disney did. Just show, here's all the stuff we're producing. You know,
maybe
that's, I think, showing out there that content is being made, and then maybe giving some numbers here and there. Hey, we've reached this milestone. Yeah, they'll release stuff like when they hit specific milestone, but like I don't expect any full transparency. I don't expect YouTube analytics. I don't expect specific site hits. That's just too much.
I don't know. I see a day in streaming where we actually know at least how many unique views or total views something got within the first 48 hours or something like that. Something that
I mean, yeah, I assume press releases whenever they hit huge milestones. They say, hey, this hit within 24 hours or within 48 hours.
Yeah, like
subscribers. But I don't think
stuff
that we're
like
gonna
that.
Get like, we're not going to release it on a regular basis.
Will there ever be a box office mojo for streaming? No, but I think we're going to have a lot more information if things don't return to normal.
I mean, like they don't. The thing is, the financials once they are released, they're public essentially. Mm-hmm. The financials, that's how people make their stock decisions. Is the financials that they release. They don't need all of that other information.
I don't know. Maybe I'm coming at it too much from the manager side. I've never been a shareholder, so maybe I'm coming at it from the business school side of things, where it's like, yes, I need to know this because my finance sheets require it and shit. So, but anyways, man, good chat. Yep. Like I said, we'll have you on as often as we can, especially with mining your passions with anime and JRPGs and RPGs in general. Fuck, Microsoft owns everything except Square Enix.
They own the Western
when it comes to
stuff.
RPGs.
They don't own the Eastern stuff that much.
I'm joking, as being facetious, but they do own all the Western things. But yeah, we'll have you on. Make sure you guys are checking out LRMonline.com every day for all your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. Let us know what you guys think about some of the alleged scoops from Daniel Richtman. And make sure you guys continue to subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out the podcast network wherever you get podcasts from. Jammer, you are doing stuff on the interwebs still sometimes and writing. What are you doing?
You can find me on Twitter at Jam the Writer, and you can find my new book, Glitch King, under the name AJ Cerna on Audible and Amazon tomorrow, the 5th of January.
Ooh, there you go. You guys can find me at that Kyle Malone on Twitter as always. We also have Cobra Kai Our LRM's No Mercy on Thursday, Breaking Geek Radio on Friday, and the Cantina on Friday. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.